Does this feel familiar? Your to-do list is a mile long. You wake up at 5 a.m., you journal, you listen to the podcast, you do the workout. You are constantly doing. You're chasing that next promotion, that next income level, that next personal best. Yet, at the end of the day, you collapse into bed with a strange, hollow feeling. A feeling that, despite all your effort, you're still not quite enough. If that sounds like you, you're not failing at self-improvement. You are caught in its traps. This video is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional mental health advice. If you are struggling, please consider reaching out to a therapist or counselor. The multi-billion-dollar self-improvement industry sells us a beautiful promise. A better, happier, more productive you is just around the corner. But what if that promise is an illusion? What if the relentless pursuit of happiness is the very thing preventing us from experiencing it? Today, we're not talking about tips and tricks. We're going deeper. We're exploring the powerful, scientifically backed psychological traps that modern self-improvement culture has built for us. These aren't personal failings. They are well-documented glitches in our human psychology that are being exploited. And understanding them is the first step to actually getting off the hamster wheel and finding some peace. The psychological traps.
Trap 1. The guilt of toxic productivity. The first and most common trap is toxic productivity. It's a term used in modern psychology to describe the obsessive need to always be productive and the feeling of guilt that washes over you when you try to rest. It's the voice in your head that says watching a movie is wasted time or that you should be monetizing your hobby. This isn't just a mindset. It has real consequences. It's a direct path to burnout, a state the World Health Organization recognizes as an occupational phenomenon. Why? Because our brains need downtime. Countless studies on creativity and problem-solving show that our best ideas often come when we are idle, when our minds are allowed to wander, in the shower, on a walk, or just staring out a window. By treating rest as a weakness, toxic productivity robs us of the very thing we need to perform at our best, creating a vicious cycle of exhaustion and guilt. Trap 2. The lie of the arrival fallacy. This leads us to the biggest trap of all. It has a name, and it comes from a man who taught one of Harvard University's most popular courses. Dr. Ben-Shahar calls it the arrival fallacy. The arrival fallacy is the false belief that when you arrive at a certain destination, you will finally achieve lasting happiness. It's the voice of, "I'll be happy when." I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I lose 20 pounds. I'll be happy when I'm in a relationship. I'll be happy when I buy that house.
And maybe you are happy. For a day, a week, maybe a month. But then what happens? The feeling fades. The new job just becomes the job. The new house just becomes the house. And your mind, now empty of its goal, immediately looks for the next destination to pin its hopes on. This is the engine of chronic dissatisfaction. Trap 3. The engine behind it all, the hedonic treadmill. So why does the arrival fallacy have such a powerful grip on us? Because it's powered by a core feature of our brain's operating system, a concept in psychology known as hedonic adaptation, or the hedonic treadmill.
The concept, first explored by researchers like Brickman and Campbell, is simple. No matter what happens to us, good or bad, we tend to return to a stable, baseline level of happiness. You know how the smell of a bakery is amazing for the first few minutes, but if you work there, you eventually don't even notice it? That's hedonic adaptation. Classic studies on lottery winners found that after an initial spike of euphoria, they returned to their previous happiness levels within a year. Their brains adapted. The hedonic treadmill means that chasing happiness through external achievements is like trying to catch the horizon. You can run as fast as you want, but the destination moves with you. The self-improvement industry thrives on this treadmill, always selling you the next thing to chase, knowing the satisfaction will be temporary. Now, you might be thinking, so what's the alternative? Should I just give up, sit on the couch and do nothing? And that's the strong counter-argument. This relentless drive is the engine of human progress. It's what pushes scientists to find cures, artists to create masterpieces, and individuals to achieve incredible feats. This divine dissatisfaction, one could argue, is what prevents stagnation. The problem isn't the desire to improve, it's the flawed assumption that there is a finish line where a trophy of permanent happiness is waiting for you. This brings us to the synthesis, the way out of the trap. The solution is not to abandon self-improvement, but to redefine it. We need to shift from outcome obsession to process orientation. Instead of saying, "I'll be happy when I'm a successful writer," you say, "I find satisfaction in the act of writing today." Instead of, "I can't wait to finish this marathon," you say, "I am grateful for what my body can do on this run right now." The goal is not to reach a destination. The goal is to fall in love with the journey. It's about finding joy not in having achieved, but in the process of becoming. This way, you untie your happiness from a fleeting future moment and anchor it in the stable, accessible present. And this forces us to ask some deeper questions. If our self-worth isn't measured by our productivity or our list of achievements, what should it be measured by? In a world that only seems to reward growth and speed, how can we as individuals and as a society learn to truly value stillness, contentment, and the beauty of just being? Is this modern burnout a new phenomenon, or have humans always been on this treadmill, just with different goals across the ages? Perhaps we've been using the wrong metaphor all along. We treat self-improvement like climbing a ladder, a linear, exhausting ascent with a top we must reach. But what if we saw it instead as tending a garden? A garden is never finished. It doesn't have a top. It requires patient, daily nurturing. It has seasons of vibrant growth and seasons of necessary rest. Its beauty isn't found in a final, static state of perfection, but in the continuous, living, breathing process of its own becoming. Stop trying to climb. Start tending your garden. What is one trap of self-improvement you've fallen into yourself? Share your experience in the comments. Reading them helps us all feel less alone. And if this conversation was meaningful to you, please subscribe for more explorations into the psychology of a better life. Thank you for your time.